Alright. Of course. Always fucking happens, doesn't it? Alright. So, we are talking about Honey, the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. About 2010, and this is actually the only Nightmare on Elm Street movie that I actually saw in theaters, because we haven't had one since then. Despite the fact that people want Freddy vs. Jason 2. People want more Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Now, this is different than Friday the 13th because there's a rights dispute. A dispute over the rights when it comes to Friday the 13th. There's rights problems. We got people making fan films like Never Hike Alone, Never Hike Alone in the Snow, Never Hike Alone 2, and so forth. But with Nightmare on Elm Street, we got Dylan's New Nightmare. But there really isn't a reason why we shouldn't be making a new Nightmare on Elm Street movie. And I hear all these things about, oh, Kevin Bacon could be the next Freddy. Or this person. Who's going to be the new Freddy? You don't need to recast Freddy. I don't have... Robert Englund reprised Freddy on the Goldbergs. And he wants to do another one. Okay, that's fine. But you don't need to do... Because let me tell you right now, after rewatching this, the best thing about this movie is Freddy. The actor who plays Freddy, not the way they portray him. Jackie Earle Haley, for being the only other person to portray Freddy ever, did a hell of a job. Excuse me. He does a hell of a job in this film as Freddy. The rest of the film... meh. It's not utter bullshit. It's just meh. I like some of the effects that they have. Other effects are shitty, like when they try to reenact the where Freddy pushes his head against the wall. They use CG in this, and it's terrible. I like how they sort of call back. I don't know if anyone's ever caught this, but there are 3 characters that call back to other characters in the original franchise. There's Nancy, who has a different last name in this, but there's also Jesse, played by Thomas Decker, and Chris, which I believe could be short for Kristen, played by Katie Cassidy. Now, I won't go on the fact that Katie Cassidy was almost probably in her mid-20s at this time. They were all kind of old. I think Thomas Decker was already 30 at this point. But, you know, you get people in their mid-20s, early 20s to play high school. That's what you do. But the first scene of this is one of the best scenes in this film. However, they put it in the trailer. So you knew this guy was going to die. This opening scene is used in the trailer, I kid you not. And it's got Dean, played by Kellen Lutz. And he's walking around in this diner. It's a dream diner. And he gets attacked by Freddy. Now, in the film, he wakes up from this. But he does eventually die from Freddy because of this. And kind of spoiled, you know. And again, they try to do the same thing they did with the original. They have Chris as the main girl. And, you know, I would have been fine if they would have kept Nancy out of this. Because Katie Cassidy is a pretty damn good actress. Rooney Mara is shit. She's terrible. She's worse than Lisa Zane, and Lisa Zane is horrible. It's very public that she doesn't like horror movies. She didn't like doing this movie. And she shits all over horror movies. She bashes them. Like I said, Jackie Earle Haley is the best thing in this film. Now, Thomas Decker's a pretty good actor, and I think that Kyle Gallner's okay. Kellen Lutz has done some things with Twilight. When it comes to Twilight, I'm okay with it. I'm not like a big fan. I don't think it sucks. I just, meh. You know, I kind of had to go with it. My sister liked it. My grandma liked it. My grandma's friend liked it, so we went to see the movies. Started with New Moon, you know? So I kind of had to go, you know, spend time with my grandma and my sister. I don't get to spend much time with, well, my grandma's passed away, may she rest in peace. But my sister no longer lives in town, so I don't get to see her much. So, you know, it's good to spend time with your loved ones where you have them, you know what I mean? So I think they're okay films. Ken Lutz, for what he's in this movie, which is not very long, he does alright. One thing I noticed for the first time watching this, for like the 8th time I've ever watched this, is that, you know, I try to think, is Nancy's dad in this? He's not. He's been replaced with Quentin's dad. Quentin is played by Kyle Gallner. And the dad is played by Clancy motherfucking Brown. The voice of Mr. Krabs himself. And various other voices that he's done. You know, I think this was the first time I actually saw him live action. Not knowing that he was in Lost. Because I'd seen Lost before this. He was like, what, season 2 of Lost? He was at the Outpost or whatever. Yeah. Maybe it was even season 1. I don't know. But I just... Clancy Brown does good with it. It gives him. He's an overprotective. Now, much like the original, it's found out that this Freddy was doing things to the children. This is one of the things that kind of threw me off when I went to see it. Now, I never caught this until after I've seen this, and once I started rewatching the other movies, I caught it. Freddy's was always a child killer. In this film, he's basically a child molester. And I was mad when I first saw it, because he's not a child molester. At rewatching the films, after I watched this, it was subtext. It was very subtle. They never specifically spelled it out that he, you know, did this stuff. It was very subtle, like licking the stamp or licking the picture or whatever in Freddy vs. Jason, or getting really excited when he's going to kill a child, you know. It's very subtle things. Eating the souls, maybe? I don't know. It's very subtle. Here, they outright say, but they do the thing that you should not do. What Rob Zombie did, and he fucked up the franchise, the Halloween franchise, by doing this. It made you try to sympathize with Freddy. It made you think that he was innocent. Only for then turn it over on its head and say, ha ha, he actually did it. Aren't you stupid for siding with him? Because there's a portion where they try to figure out, oh, the parents wrongfully killed Freddy. He never did anything. Like they said he did. And then, at the end, no, he actually did do these things and he just wants to kill these kids. For revenge. It's a little delayed. I like the idea of micro naps, where if you're asleep for too long, you start to fade in and out. I don't know if it's real or anything, but like you start to fade in and out of consciousness and stuff. I like that. Absolutely fantastic. The special effects. There's the scene where they're in a drugstore and Quentin is yelling at the person to get a new prescription. They won't give it to him because there's no refills. You know, I understand. You have to be careful that someone's not a drug addict or anything. But then, you got Nancy going in and out. And the drugstore is constantly turning between a drugstore and the boiler room is going in and out, in and out, in and out. Great. I absolutely love that part. And they do, you know, they do some things that go beat per beat. Like, Chris is killed on a ceiling, just like Tina. And Quentin, just like Rod, or not Quentin, Jesse, just like Rod, is, you know, thought to be the killer. And then Jesse, just like Rod, dies, but he doesn't get hung, he gets stabbed. All the kills in this are stabs. And I gotta credit this film because this is the first Nightmare on Elm Street film. Not only did the first one and only one I've seen in theaters, but the first and only one to make me jump. I was sitting in a theater, don't remember specifically which part, but I jumped. And I was like, I never jumped at any other ones before. I was always intrigued by those, I never jumped. So I credit that. On the other hand, you got terrible CGI, like I mentioned with the face going through the wall, and pulling the mom through the mirror at the end. I know that the dog going through the mirror in the 1984 version was terrible looking, but the CGI is even worse. Like I said with the Friday the 13th movies, I would almost prefer the crappy looking, practical effects, because some of those actually look real, over the CGI that usually 99% of the time looks fake as shit. If you can't afford to make good CGI, this is Michael Bay producing it. If you can't afford to do good CGI, don't fucking do it. Alright? Oh, we just need a little bit for here. Okay, we'll pay $100,000 for CGI. That's enough. Cartoon, pull through the mirror. Terrible. It was like an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. Just doesn't look like that, but otherwise, this movie is decent. I do like some of the concept. Jack Earl Haley. You need to try to get Jack Earl Haley to come back as Freddy for another movie. Whether it's a remake, whether you're completely rewriting the script, he can come back because, like I said, he is the best thing about this. I would be down to see Jackie Earl Haley in at least one more Friday the 13th, or Nightmare on Elm Street film. Stupid me. Nightmare on Elm Street film, alright? So, yeah, fished enough about this movie. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Alright, 7 out of 10. Best I can do for this. Decent film, not too bad. Some of the CGI shit. Just Jackie Earl Haley is great, but 7 out of 10. That's it. So, guys, what's left? Well, I got my ranking video, which I'm going to do as soon as I'm uploading this. And then, well, wait for ranking video, because I'll tell you what's going on after that. I told you I was going to do another film series. I'm taking a break. And it's a little something different. So just wait for the ranking video. So until then, like, share, and subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on Nightmare on Elm Street 2010 in the comments below. Love, peace, and chicken grease.